The following is a Joel Michalec production.
On November 13th, Felix Unger was asked to remove himself from his place of residence. That request came from his wife. She asked him to leave because he wouldn't listen to the Joel Michalec Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Joel Michalec Show. Welcome back to the program. I'm Joel Michalec, and
I'm Sharen.
And there's Sharen.
Yes,
You get so
lovely Sharen.
You know, before you got all sarcastic there, you get so animated when you announce yourself on the program.
Right, and then I think about it, and I'm like, he's going to say something about the lovely Sharen.
And actually, I was not even going to pursue that today.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't going to bug you with that. If that's not what you, if that's not what you want,
I kind of look forward to that.
Okay.
Don't try and figure us women out.
Right? Isn't that the truth?
It's not going to happen.
Anyway, thanks for coming along for the ride.
Yeah.
Everybody out there. And the website, we have a website. We have a website. Yeah, and we've had. So, but anyway, it's joelmichalec.com. And for any new listeners, it's Michalec.
Yes.
Because you used to bug me about that. So there it is.
I'm like, how are these people supposed to know what Michalec, how it's spelled? Michalec, excuse me. But if I were to try and spell it out phonetically, I wouldn't be able to. I'd be like, me, M-E, Halec, H-A-L.
There was this kid that we went to grade school with. I'll share this story. There was this kid that we went to grade school with.
Okay.
His name was Michael. His last name was Lec. All right, so Sharon's right. One of the pronunciations of our name is Michalec. So when I was in grade school, which was a Catholic school,
right?
You know, nobody. You know,
it was a Polish Catholic school too, wasn't it?
Right. So, you know, somebody says, "What's your last name?" You say, and you spell it or whatever. You know, how do you pronounce this? Michalec. What? And so Michalec rolled off people's tongues more, so that's where that iteration came from. But take this kid.
You know what, before you say what you're going to say, when I try and get people to understand how to say my last name, I say Michael with an ek at the end.
Okay, right. That's good.
So
that's good.
There you go.
So we had this kid in our school named Michalec, and so we would say Michalec, like the kid Michalec. You know, you say, you know that kid, and they say Michalec. Yeah, like Michalec.
Right.
And then when they go to say my name,
they're fumbling all over their mouth.
I mean, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Michalec just sounds more European.
Oh, yeah, it does. So, anyway, but if somebody really wanted to know how to spell it, I could just send them to Facebook at JM Talk. Shorten it, they can go there, and then they get the spelling on the header on the webpage. It's got the name there with the way you spell it.
You know what? I just thought of something. I want to do what they do in Slovakia.
Retire early?
No.
I mean, hello, Molly. Molly's joined us.
Okay, no.
What?
I want to put an ova at the end.
No, that's only for the women.
I'm a woman.
I understand that. I don't think that'll fly here. I don't know.
Now, is it only for unmarried women? Or is it for both married and unmarried?
Married and unmarried.
Okay, so Michalekova.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah.
That's what it would be, Michalekova.
Okay, there you go. You got it.
I got it. That's my new name. Sharen Michalekova.
There you go.
Ooh,
So-
I sound like a movie star.
So later on the program, couple production notes here. One,
I'm very excited.
we'll be truncating the Wombat of the Week and the Hero, because tonight we'll be sharing our interview, our sit down.
Yeah.
With Craig Shoemaker, the comedian, the love master, Craig Shoemaker. So that's coming up here in a bit.
Well, why don't you share how that came about?
Oh, you mean how
The show
we promoted? We did a
yeah.
flashback show, right?
Right.
Doing the first interview that I did with him 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And we put it out there as a flashback, tagged him in it across social media, and of course, then he responded to the flashback saying, "Why I'm always a flashback? How about a flash now?" So we instantly reached out and put this together.
Yeah.
So
I'm so excited.
and it's interesting because earlier I was thinking to myself, because I try in my head to put together. We just sit, we just get on here and we talk.
right.
And it works. People love us. But I'm always trying to think of, besides topics, some other things. And how can I say that? And I was thinking today while I was walking Molly, I was like, we should tell everybody that the interview's pre-recorded so they know. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a podcast.
not at all.
And then I was like, but wait, we're pre-recorded as well.
So why say it?
The whole thing's pre-recorded. But so yeah, you're right. So negating that. But I'm really glad that we got this time together. Because I've got a problem I wanted to talk to you about. I mean, this is a really serious problem.
Okay, what?
And the thing is, I mean,
It's got to be serious if you're bringing it up now.
we've been together 23 years, and every time that I have there's a problem that I can't deal with. What do you always tell me? Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, because it will be.
So this is really bothering me, and I have to talk to you about this.
Okay.
I'm getting very concerned about the lack of Coffee Mate creamer.
Stores?
No, in the stores. The lack of our coconut cream creamer.
Oh, why'd you say it? Now everybody's going to want it.
I'm really concerned.
I know. You know what we need to do? We need to contact Coffee Mate
Yeah.
and let them know how disappointed we are that their delicious creamer is never on the shelves when we go.
And we're talking multiple places. I mean, I'm in complete despair here.
Yeah.
You know, it's keeping me up
Maybe
at night.
they'll send us free stuff.
Right, for mentioning it. Coffee Mate.
Coffee Mate, coconut
I'm not
cream.
sleeping at night. I'm not sleeping at night. You know, we've been trying the Walmart ripoff.
Yeah.
It's just not
it's
the same.
nasty. Not nasty, but
the fridge is full of it because
I know
it's half the size or a third of this. I don't know. I'm just really getting concerned about it. I need to hear those magic words from you, but you don't look like you have them for this. You just don't. You're not sure yourself,
baby. It's gonna be A-OK.
All right. See, instantly I feel better.
You know why?
Why?
Because I'm going to contact Coffee Mate for you, just for you, baby, and let them know.
Send them this copy of the podcast.
Yes, I
and
will.
Say, look, we've been talking about it, man.
Yeah. And
But I mean, we're talking several stores. It's not just like one store.
I know.
When it was one store, we thought we even brought it up on a show. We said, "Listen, there's nothing on the shelves there. We've been there 3 times in 6 weeks."
Exactly.
And then we go to a whole nother store and another store and
another store.
Where's the coconut
One
cream?
of those stores discontinued it.
Yeah.
Now that happened first, before the shortage of the coconut cream.
I mean, Easter's coming. Stock the hell up.
I know, right?
we
you
were
would think it's an Easter creamer, but
But we were at the Walmart the other night, and the guy said, we're only getting in like 2 cases, 6 bottles in a case at a time. And he said, we have one person who comes in and waits for that delivery, then buys a whole case. And so he said he had 3 in the back that had
damaged.
busted caps. And
yeah,
I'm like,
they were damaged.
I'm like, we'll take them. So he goes back, and he's back for like 5-7 minutes. looking, and he comes out with them, and they, sure enough, I mean, the caps are busted. And he gives me one, and he's walking over to put the other two in the case. I said, whoa, where you going, my man? I said, I'm taking all three. He goes, you're going to take all three? I said, I didn't send you back there to do all that work.
To get just one.
Yeah, to just take one. He's like, man, he said, this stuff must be really good. Really, really good. I said, have you tried it? He says, no, I haven't. I said, then you don't know.
You must.
I said, you have no idea why people are knocking your doors down and get this stuff.
Exactly.
And I got the butterscotch, took it to work. It's and you can't taste butterscotch. Why is coconut cream?
And that's why when you brought it up to me in the store, I was like, it sounds okay,
but it's coffee mate.
I understand this, but I had a feeling it wouldn't taste like butterscotch. I love the flavor of butterscotch.
Right, which is why I picked it up to try the small one.
I know, but I knew it was going to be lacking in the flavor department.
I'm just saying, the coconut cream tastes like coconut cream. The schnozzleberries taste like schnozzleberries.
The dingleberries taste... Oh, ew. That's gross. All right, I'm sorry.
So...
cut that part out.
So, also, this episode's dropping on St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Now, we certainly don't do anything for St. Patrick's Day.
No, we don't. I'm not Irish. We don't drink anymore.
Yeah, and we're not Irish
older.
for a day.
We're not, yeah.
But you know what I think is cool, and I just wanted to mention this. What I think is cool is what the city of Chicago does every year for their parade. They dye the Chicago River green.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and there's a video actually online showing them today, because the parade, today, it's recorded. Today, the parade was today, Saturday, in Chicago. And so they showed the police boats racing up and down the river while they were dumping the dye in, and then the motors churning it all up. And it's actually beautiful.
I want to see it.
Yeah, all right.
Now, when we're done here, I'm going to go and I'm going to check it out.
Check it out.
I'm going to check it out.
Maybe I'll post it to the show page.
What?
At JM Talk.
JM Talk.
So, So if you do celebrate, or if you are Irish, or if you just get drunk on St. Patty's Day, happy St. Patty's Day.
If you use St. Patty's Day as just another day to get drunk.
That was kind of my last point, just not putting it out there quite like that. If you use it to get drunk, why don't you just call them a bunch of drunkards?
They are. They're drunkards. No, we quit drinking years ago. When we were younger, we had our fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we quit, like we said, we're not drinking anymore, like we don't smoke anymore, but we have a cabinet full of liquor.
I smoke.
And we still do. In fact, you were supposed to make smoothies for tonight.
You made me forget.
Yeah, we supposed to we like to buy frozen fruit and throw some schnapps in there and mush it all up into a fruit smoothie.
I want one now.
I bet. So, well, anyway, so we're gonna take an extremely short break coming up, and then after the break, we're gonna go right into the interview with Craig Shoemaker. A fantastic human being, a wonderful and funny comedian.
Love him.
And he does he's got so much stuff on his plate, and yet he does so much for people.
Yeah.
Especially with his Laughter Heals organization, which is a nonprofit and promotes the fact that laughter
heals.
Yes.
Laughter also hears.
Yeah.
Which is what you just said.
And his new podcast, I'm like halfway through all the episodes.
Nice.
It is. I don't know what it is, but it's amazing. I don't know how to describe it.
No, that's a perfect description.
But I can tell you, today I was listening to his episode with Ryan O'Quinn, who's another comedian and a friend of his, and they did the podcast in the car. And you heard me earlier in here laughing.
Yeah.
I was dying in here with those two. Dying.
And I was getting mad out there. I'm like, what does he think is so funny?
Yeah. Well, now you know. But anyway,
I know.
We're going to take a quick break, and then coming back is the interview.
I'm so excited.
With Craig.
If I were any more excited, I'd be two people.
Absolutely. I know. All right. We'll be back right after this, folks. Don't go anywhere. Craig is coming right up.
Okay.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Broadcasting from a crummy little studio in Baltimore, Maryland. This is Reality One Radio.
You see why we need your donations?
Welcome back to the Joel Michalec Show, folks. Joel Michalec here, and with my sexy sidekick,
Hey.
Sharen, the lovely Sharen.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Lovely.
Welcome back to the program. JoelMichalec.com, that's the website. You gotta stop doing that. But okay.
I can't.
All right.
I can't.
Check us out on Facebook at JM Talk and Twitter at WQYB Radio. So, our guest tonight, I'm about to introduce, Sharon's coming out of her skin because the Love Master's in the house.
Excited.
So now that I gave that away,
am.
I will proceed with his introduction so you can...
All right. I'll cut it.
Okay, so I guess Craig Shoemaker is known as a modern-day Renaissance man, having spent the past 30 years working as a stand-up comedian, actor, author, writer, and producer. He has been named Comedian of the Year at the American Comedy Awards and a recipient of the Big Shtick Award at XM Nation, just to mention a few of his accolades. Under his acting cap, Craig has played a recurring role on NBC's Parks and Recreation, made a run on The Bold and the Beautiful, plus appeared in Scream 2 and Middleman on the big screen. Craig was part of the writing team for Season 2 of the Emmy-nominated Netflix original Fuller House, about which Jenny Varner at IGN noted, quote, Season 2 brings a fuller plot and a lot more cringeworthy pop culture jokes. Season 2 also took home awards at both the People's Choice Awards and the Kids' Choice Awards. Craig is the founder of LaughterHeals.org, which is a nonprofit group dedicated to using laughter as a model for healing. He tours the world promoting this model, sharing through public speaking. Craig received an honorary doctorate in humanities and humanistic studies from California University in Pennsylvania. And Craig is best known to his fans as the Love Master. His previous interview with yours truly, Joel Michalec, has been downloaded through YouTube and social media more than 10,000 times, and he is currently touring the country performing his award-winning stand-up comedy. It is our greatest honor to have him back on the program, so please welcome Dr. Craig Shoemaker. Doctor?
What's up? I tell you, that voice didn't sound that sexy when I heard, hey.
Hey.
Well, she can practice. I'll have her practice, and we'll try it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Craig, we prepared for this interview. I wanted you to know that we prepared for this by having a big dinner of eggs and scrapple.
Oh, my favorite. I love me some scrapple. Where were you located when you're eating the scrapple?
Where were we located?
In our living room.
In what? Not asking what part of the house, what part of the country. I'm trying to lead to who else eats scrapple but Pennsylvanians.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're in Delaware, but yeah, as you know, we're all of us
We're
here.
in the tri-state area.
All of us are from Philadelphia, or as we like to say, Philly.
And that's what I was wanting your listeners to know. If they're in Iowa, they have no idea what scrapple is.
Oh, yeah.
The breakfast meat where they take all the scrap, it's a scrap pile of sausage, what's left over, the snouts and the gizzards. This is so good, isn't it?
It's delicious.
Put it into a mold, and we eat it with ketchup, and the Philadelphians say, it puts hair on your chest.
Yeah, it does.
Sasquatch.
But it's delicious, and the rest of the country is missing out, period.
They are. I'm in complete alignment with you. I'm in L.A., and it's the one thing I miss about Philadelphia, among many things.
Right. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. First of all, a lot has gone on since your last time visiting the show. And so, not to jump around, but your podcast, Can I Help You? First of all, I find it to be an excellent listening experience. Thank you very much.
You've listened to it. Oh, that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Started it about 4 months ago. And it's something that I've never done before like this.
My favorite one actually was your interview with Ed Kaminsky. So
no way.
I thought it was very enjoyable how the two of you have so many parallels, and it got me thinking about some of the parallels that you and I have just being from the same region. You know.
Stacy, is he telling the truth, or is that just that happened to be our last podcast? So he just listened to one.
No.
It's his favorite. I'm going to test you. Name one other podcast and one other guest quickly.
I can't do it that quick.
See, I knew it. I knew Ed's the only one you listened to.
But
I did enjoy Ed. Was different. I interview people that basically if they're passing by, I go, hey, I got a microphone here. No, but I've had my accountant, my friend from kindergarten and third grade. I've had two people that put us up during the fires. I've had yesterday we had Hillary Williams, Hank Williams' granddaughter, and just one after another. They could be celebrities, could not be. Aspiring actresses in there, and it's all about helping people kind of manage through life. And I think we need more of that and less of what we have out there in the media.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, one of the things that I really found interesting about it is just that it's not necessarily anyone of celebrity that you're having on the show, and between the back and forth, you're sometimes helping each other, or maybe you're helping them, maybe they're helping you.
That's
in that discussion.
Right. We're hoping for an organic show. Like I had my friend Hillary Williams on yesterday, and her publicist sets it up, and she's got these notes, and hit this and hit that. I said, I'm not even going to look at the notes. This thing's going to take it. It's going to take its own path, and nothing forced. And that's the idea of a podcast for me, is I have a portable machine. They don't have to come to a studio. I've done it that way. I've had, Samuel L. Jackson and Katie Seagal and all these great guests. Well, first of all, Samuel L. Jackson, who's got like 9,000 movies going, you think he's going to put me at the top of his list on his Twitter postings?
Yeah.
Hey, if don't see a Marvel movie, go listen to my podcast with Craig Shoemaker. So that's first of all. Second of all, and by the way, if he does come on, I'm not going to talk to him once about a Marvel movie or any of his movies. We'll talk about how he got there and the process and the obstacles and the tragedies that you have to get through. And these are the skills that we need in life more than we just need to keep resisting life and not paying attention to life and just going by what well-funded people are telling you. They're telling you what you're supposed to be upset about, who your enemy is, why you should be mad, instead of us checking in with ourselves. And that's what we hope to do with and by the way, also make you laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you 100%.
Just 100.
Just 100.
Okay.
Because I can't afford
I'll
anymore.
Take 100. I'll take 50 at this point. But as long as you're listening to more than one episode.
Well, but no, I mean, I agree with your process. It's about more than just a Marvel movie. It's how he got there. You know what I mean?
Well, ironically, Marvel movies, not to knock them, but they're all fantasy. I don't think anybody's going to, fly through my window or knock down my walls with their fist. It's not going to happen. So
if they do, at least have a microphone in your hand.
Yeah. How am I going to do that in real life? If I have a stuck window or I need to get through some obstacle in life, what are my tools to manage through? Let's share them together. And all of the guests, we usually get to that space is, what's working for you, what's not working for you.
It's interesting, one of the comparisons, too, that's the way you look at your podcast. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about you podcasting, because I was interested in how you got into podcasting from all these other things you do. But one of the comparisons is we sort of do the same thing here. Like, we'll have people submit questions when we're going to do an interview. And I say, listen, you give me a question, I'm going to have a question. So now we got 2 questions. And during the course of the interview, we're going to formulate more questions and more conversation. Well, why would you do that way? Well, because I'm going to learn about this guest at the same time my listeners do. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be natural. We're just going to have a conversation.
Yeah. I said that to Hillary yesterday. I said, when we were interviewing, I said, look, I know the answers to these things, but there are thousands of people that don't. So that's why I'm asking you, as if I'm asking you for the latest. I said, tell us about your accident. You know, she said, well, you know about my accident. No, I know. There's other people that are listening. That's why you have a microphone in front of you.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to, this is where I think we're going with societies. I think we are starting to shift and notice some of the things, some of the paradigms that have been in place for centuries of certain people in charge. And now we're just starting to see, wait a minute, the media, they're well-funded, so you're only going to get one perspective. And we're a tapestry of people, so why not get these other perspectives? And we really don't get them at all. There's no alternatives to living. I mean, the best they'll do is on a news program, they'll do 20 seconds for a cat stuck in a tree, and good thing Snuffles made it down, and we'll be back tomorrow. Good night.
Yeah, right.
After they've just shown you rape, molestation, schoolyard shootings. Yeah, but it all gets wrapped up with a kitty cat story in a tree.
Yeah, that's so true, too.
That's not what life is. We need to have most of the programming be about how we can deprogram some of these old thoughts and ideas.
Right.
That's interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, we're trying to do this in a different way. And the reason, to answer your question, is the reason I'm doing a podcast is how many people that have these sponsored programs, how many of these networks, et cetera, are going to want to have something like that on that's basically questioning their integrity and their way of doing things. So you have to do it, one by one. We're not promoting the podcast. We're hoping that organically it just grows and grows and grows from people passing the word. Here's what I learned on here. I don't make a dime from doing it. So the investment is actually in my own heart because I really enjoy helping people.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? I mean, and it's interesting. You said you're doing it organically because, you don't see much advertising, not even on your fan page. You see something here and there, but you don't see that you're doing much as far as pushing the word out.
I'm actually upset with my people about that. I said I can't even find it. It's like, where's Waldo with my own podcast? I'm gonna have to talk to them again, and I'm gonna say that I'm gonna throw you under the bus right now.
Hey, do it.
There you go.
Say you said that.
So 4 months in, how's it going though? As far as are you picking up numbers as you go? Do you see that happening in an organic state?
We're in the multi-thousands and all over the world. So it's getting there, and I'm just letting go on the results. And that's kind of another life lesson I learned: is you do the work and you let go of the results. And I'm a stand-up comedian for many years. It's the same thing. I do the stage thing and let the results be what they may. It's laugh by laugh and moment by moment, and move on to the next. And that's how we're all living, right? I mean, it's so
right.
That's true.
It's kind of metaphoric, even doing the podcast, and I'm really enjoying it though because I'm having guests that I really like, that I want them to share their stories, and it could be someone that has one Facebook follower. I'm not looking for followers, influencers, or anything like that because influencers are phony anyway. I just saw a documentary on Fire Festival. I don't know if you heard about this.
No.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, on this island
one guy
in the Bahamas, and and they promoted it, and they had just all these influencers and models, and man, I'm a happily married guy, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So, I have, I'm like looking. I have this perspective. I'm going, wait a minute. If this is what people are lured into by these shiny objects, why are we not luring people into something that's just more solid and has a foundation to it and a purpose? Because these people didn't have, and sure enough, it all blew up on them. It was a big rip-off, and everybody got,
there was no talent there.
Dollars.
They
and
promised
the guys
all
going
this.
to jail, and it's
Right.
just that's the result when you don't stand in your own integrity and your own purpose. And that's kind of what we talk about on the podcast. Indirectly, we don't go in everybody's face. We don't do it in a pontificating way. It's more of a shared experience way. No matter who the person is, they have their own. I'm not going to have someone on that I don't respect, though. Just because they're going to bring me. Like, I have a pretty good celebrity coming up, actually interviewing this Friday. She's got a great following, but I actually love her because she's a really cool person who's been through a hell of a journey. It's Jodie Sweetin from Fuller House.
Oh,
Full House.
Yeah.
And what a background! But she ended up, going through these tragedies and a lot of self-inflicted pain and other pains. And I can't wait to talk to her and have her. And now, obviously, that is a bigger celebrity than my accountant. So, but they both have something to say, and they're both people I know and respect, and they're friends. So I'm just basically sharing my friends with people.
There you go.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great approach. Now, you also do work on XM on Mad Dog Radio.
Yes.
And I have to
not advertised.
Well, I was going to say I really need to ask you about Untied because Mad Dog gives no information about it. And
I know, isn't that amazing?
I mean, we're subscribers to XM.
Right, I'm going to give them help. You know what you're doing? You're giving me a whole life review where their heads are going to roll tomorrow.
I really don't mean to, Craig. To be honestly,
or
no,
does
I'm happy
he?
You're doing it.
But so I want to talk about that because I want to know about that. I want to know what Untied is because, like I said, when you click the information button on Mad Dog Radio, the information has 2 words in the box: Craig Shoemaker. That's it. Which means you speak for yourself, Craig.
I'm literally writing this down. I'm glad I have a pen during this interview. I've never had a pen and a pad during a podcast interview before, but with you, I do. I can see what's going on here.
There you go.
I'll have a grocery list from you. Your wife forgot to pick up paper towels. So you're just throwing everybody under the bus. Yeah, it's an odd one, quite frankly. I took the job because I wanted to do something different, and Sirius XM is a great vehicle to do that. I've been on Stern and a bunch of other Sirius shows, and Pete Dominic and just, Jim Norton and all these shows. And what I found is they have a freedom to say whatever they want. Now, unfortunately, mine's a sports show, so I don't have total freedom. It has to be under the auspices of sport. But, I mean, for instance, I had this big broadcaster on recently, so I'll bring the personal into it. I said, here she is, ladies and gentlemen. She's won gold medal in the Olympics. She's the best softball player in history. She's the first female broadcaster in history for ESPN, and she was in my birth class. It's Jessica Mendoza. So that's kind of indicative of what we have. We have these, I know a lot of celebrities, a lot of people. We have great guests and great fun. At the same time, in the background is the sports, but we're not interested so much in just repeating stats and, how someone, lost velocity off their fastball. I mean, but it's the personal behind it. So it gives me another vehicle to reach out to other people in the sports world. And obviously, we're going to have to build an audience past what you're saying is they're giving me no support here. It's a nice time, though. It's a Sunday night, which I always wanted to do a Sunday night radio show ever since I listened to Dr. Demento when I was a little kid.
Dr. Demento.
And he was every Sunday night. Everybody knew he was every Sunday night. You could be driving back from vacation, coming back from work. You knew you were going to hear Dr. Demento.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that's going to be Untied with Craig Shoemaker on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82. I'm hoping that people, check us out and call in and we have fun together. And we have topics that are well off the sports, especially now that NFL is over. It's kind of free reign.
Right. Well, I've noticed that I can't speak for all markets on FM, but in this market, the sports talk radio programs have started to, they're, like you said, they're keeping sports as a center, but they're coming away from it, and they're introducing like one morning on Angelo Cataldi, they spent half the morning talking about A Star Is Born when that came out. Nothing about sports.
Absolutely. Did you know Angelo is one of my podcast guests? Honest to God, I don't think he's ever done another podcast. And
really?
So many of his listeners got in touch with me and said they never knew Angelo until they heard the podcast. You should listen to it.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and listen to that one. Yeah, I did not.
Yeah, to hear what's behind what he's doing and his career and all of that was unpeeling what you see every day on the radio. It was uncensored, and
wow.
I really liked it. We don't edit our podcast, so what you see is what you get with Angelo on that podcast. But on the radio, you're also seeing a big slice of him. He's his attitude on things, and but it could be about A Star Is Born. It doesn't have to be so much focused on sports and stats and all that crap. I mean, it really is when especially when you get to be a certain age, you realize. Well, once I realized I'm not going to be a professional athlete, which I think I came to that realization about maybe a year ago. And a middle-aged man living in the suburbs with a comedy background, hasn't played baseball in years, but I still think they're going to give me the call.
You never know.
They used to have a thing at the stadium when I was a kid. If somebody caught a foul ball, they would put up on the screen, sign them up, and they would give you an honorary contract. Just give me a foul ball. If I get a foul ball, they're going to sign me, and then I'll be discovered. The denial that we all go into. Yeah. But anyway, Untied, obviously the Shoe, Untied, my nickname is Shoe, and we had to come up with a name, and it's another guy from Philly that he's my wingman. He does a lot of gambling, which by the way, I've gambled so much because I want to tell people about my experiences. I've lost more money than I made from XM. Sirius XM.
Wow.
In my gambling this year. I'm taking one for the team, that's for sure.
Are you,
wow.
Are you done taking that one for the team now?
No, I just did it again the other night. I took the over on the Clippers-Lakers, and then the Lakers couldn't make a damn shot. I should have looked up that half their squad was gone, but I'm an idiot. I'm a degenerate gambler who has no skill in gambling and shouldn't be doing it, but I'll call it research. Maybe I could write it off.
You might be able to.
Yeah, right.
You might be able to, yeah. Research for the job, right?
Exactly.
Job
costs. That.
Write that down, too, while you're at it.
I'm writing it all down, bro.
So, for the listeners who don't know, you've been doing comedy for the better part of 30 and change years, right?
Yeah, approaching 40. I've been doing it since high school. And my junior year of high school, I did my first shows. Ava Tamini's backyard, I did it for beer. And I haven't looked. By the way, everyone else at the party got beer. Why did I have to think I had to get up on stage to get my beer? But anyway, and I performed in front of a musical group. I was going to be a lawyer, and I was working at a law firm in Philly, Schneider, Harrison, Siegel, and Lewis, this old law firm. And this guy says, "Hey, why don't you?" I was performing in the lunchroom all the time, making people laugh. He said, "Why don't you get up between sets of my band?" And that was my big stage debut past David Tamini's yard.
Wow. But it was, nonetheless, it was a debut.
It was, and obviously, like a good crack addict, I took my first hit, and that was it. All I needed was one laugh, and I was off and running. And it never looked back. I've had this career, obviously very diverse now, but the whole root of it has always been stand-up. I tried retiring for a minute, but I didn't realize that stand-ups don't have a 401k plan. I wasn't prepared for that one.
No.
So, part of your act, besides Love Master, is a lot of the different voices that you do, and a lot of that stems from your early years. And my question is about millennials. Like, at what point?
Mm-hmm.
I know earlier when we first discovered you. Actually, Sharen discovered you and told me about you. And when we started watching your shows and your different appearances and stuff, I had noticed that you had a little trouble with millennials not connecting to some of the characters that you did. And I'm wondering, when did that table turn for you? Or is it still tough?
It's kind of related to that. The reason I took impressions out of my act, I've always enjoyed impressions. It's kind of how I got started. It made me stand out and headline earlier because it's easier for people to kind of receive than just a monologist.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason is also there is so much out there and such a turnaround with celebrities that by the time you learn a celebrity, people are going, who?
Right.
There is no more Jack Nicholson and Jimmy Stewart and Robert De Niro and Sean Connery and Don Knotts. You know, these are like, you all know who they are, and they're iconic characters. There's no one besides maybe Tom Hanks these days that has this sustainable career that everyone knows who they are. You know, Samuel L. Jackson. There's a few, but it's because there's so many channels, and we just live in this society that just goes by us like a train, like a bullet train. As soon as you're looking at the engineer, you're looking at the caboose. Whoo, in 1 second, and that's it. Then we move on to the next.
Right.
So living in that moth-like world has taken me in a different direction, where I don't really do impressions unless I like know the person. Like, I've met the person, I have a story about it. I have a story about acting in a movie with Patrick Stewart. And even people don't even know who he is anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you ask a kid. You ask a 35-year-old who Captain Picard is, and they're going to laugh at you.
Well, I believe they're reprising him in the new Star Trek series, though, so he's coming back.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, so Captain Picard will be back.
Career doing Patrick Stewart impressions, but I have a story about him, about meeting him, and I like to tell true stories, and so I got away from the impressions, which are, you know, they're more or less, you know, putting up a facade too. I took that away, and now just really share myself.
And that's what I had wondered and thought might have been the turning point, where you stopped doing so many impressions and then you started bringing out, especially like raising the kids and things like that. And of course, you've always said that you know, a lot of your comedy comes from, you know, your pains of growing up with all women, you know, all sisters, and you know, and that kind of stuff. So, and I was wondering if that was the hook, you know, that changed it for the millennials, because, you know, to bring them in more. Because I mean, it's bringing in anyone. It's who can connect with the truth. All comedy is the truth. So the more I tell it, the more proud I am, first of all, and the more connected I am with, even if it's a smaller audience. It's one by one. There's this, you know, just this connection that takes place, and I think it's something that moves me in a great direction, as opposed to appealing to the masses. You know, you watch or listen to recent comedy, most of it's there's no joke structure, there's not a lot of talent behind it. It's one note, it's anger, it's just, they're up there talking about their resentment, but they're also not talking about what's on the other side of the resentment, and they're still in the resentment. And I think it comes across, and that's why they don't have sustainable careers. And I'd like to think that mine's decades old, this career, because I am expressing the truth, and it does hit people in the heart. Right.
And so I guess that's one of the reasons why, you know, the millennials are starting to come around. But a lot of them, they don't have a sense of self yet, so therefore they don't have a sense of humor. If you don't, then it's impossible. You just laugh at it like basic, you know. The modern day Three Stooges of hitting people is just, you know, dropping an F-bomb.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a slap, and that's what that does, as opposed to really bringing them on the journey with you. That's not what's going on. I you know, it almost sounds like a cranky old man, but I mean, that happens to be the majority of what's going on, but there's also the Bill Burrs of the types that are out there, and the Chris Rocks who are out, slinging the best stuff available to them. It's awesome.
Right. So now, how did the Love Master come about?
He came about because, like probably you, if you're doing what you do here behind a microphone, I was a geek in high school. I'm just guessing here that you were with me in the Geek Squad.
Oh, yes, he was.
Listen to this.
There you go. I had some confirmation for the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Oh, he was and still is what I tried.
Yeah, exactly.
So, when you're a geek and the girls use the F word with you, friend. I was always the friend.
Mm-hmm.
And, girls go to the bathroom together, the posse pee. They actually took me with them. That's what a geek I was. And they would talk about the guys, and I hated it, but I played it up a different way. I go, oh, yeah, Tommy, I'll fix you up with Tommy. And it was always some guy that wasn't, treating them right or whatever. And I'm thinking under my high voice, oh, give the geek a chance, baby. Oh, yeah. Check out under here, baby. I got the truth in these pants, and sometimes the truth hurts. Oh, yeah. So anyway, that's how the Love Master was born. I was giving these girls what they basically were telling me they wanted. They didn't want Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Friend. So I gave that to them, and
there you go.
That's how the Love Master was born.
And it works. So
my children yelling in the other room. Love Master has led to children as well. Yeah, making a little love there. Made some children.
I have to say that's how I found you.
Love Master?
Was the Love Master.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I had come across.
Now you're calling me on the phone, aren't you, baby? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. I'm so big, I make fleshy bacteria gag, baby. Terrible. It's literally my 5-year-old is 10 feet away.
Oh, my God.
I always hope my kids don't emulate me. I have a son in band. He's walking around. Hey, he's in middle school. Hey, baby, I'm a little French horny. Somebody's got a tromboner. He's suspended now.
Yeah, you might get a call from the principal's office on that one.
Yeah, taken after all that.
That's funny.
Yeah, she found. I think it was a clip on the XM Comedy Channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the Love Master clip, and then from there, I mean, we were, of course, we were all over the internet and Comedy Central and wherever we can find any of your material.
Yeah.
And then we just started telling people about it left and right.
Good. I hope you all come see me. I just got booked literally 10 minutes ago at the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City.
Oh, I'm there.
And I will be there August, I think it's like 21st, for like 4 days at the Hard Rock in Howie Mandel's room there. And you're the first to know it. It's going to be on my calendar at craigshoemaker.com. And
Yay.
you sign up on my email list. You find out when I'm in Philadelphia coming up in December.
Yeah.
December in
all
Philly.
Sorts of places where you can come see the live, so I don't have to not get paid from you downloading YouTube. Jeez, people say, I saw your clip on YouTube. If you only knew how unhappy that makes me.
Oh, no, we'll be there. We'll be there with bells on.
That's the word. I want them to tell. I want people to come up and tell me that they heard me on your podcast.
Will do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, we'll be passing the word because and this is part of the tour, the current tour you're doing now.
I'm doing a tour now. I'm off and on tour. I'm doing a bunch of movies and television shows I'm producing. a number of shows, actually. Two of them are with Nancy Glass, who I knew back in Philadelphia on Evening Magazine. And now she has a big production company. We're doing a couple of shows together, but I have a lot going, so I can finally do that thing I tried to do before, is retire from stand-up gigs that I don't want, and then I can take only the ones that I want.
You can you can pick and choose, right.
Exactly, yeah. But I always love coming back to the Delaware Valley. Well, I hope you guys had fun with me today.
I did.
Yeah, we did, and we appreciate you coming on and talking about your newer projects, and we wish you the best of luck, and can't wait to see you either in Philadelphia or Atlantic City.
Great. I got my newest project knocking on my door right now, my 5-year-old Chloe. It's my newest project.
Yeah, right.
And this one is a laugh riot, let me tell you.
Oh, jeez.
All right, well, thank you all.
We wish you the best with that. Thank you.
Thank you.
When this is posted, and I'll repost it, and hopefully we get some good feedback. I'm the Love Master on Twitter and Craig Shoe on Instagram, and now maybe I'll get verified on Instagram once I did your show.
Well,
all right, I'll see y'all later.
Thanks,
all
Craig.
Right, Take care. Craig.
Thanks. You got bye-bye.
And there it was, our sit-down with Craig Shoemaker.
As I said, I love it. It's so funny.
Yeah.
He's funny, and I love what he does to help people.
Yeah. Amazing person.
Yeah.
We want to thank Craig for being on the program again.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
We'd like to have him back. And not 11 years, but, like to have him back. I'd like to get more. I'd like to talk more about the podcasting thing. I think it's amazing that he's podcasting.
I know. I wonder. It's something maybe I'll look into. I wonder how many comedians podcast.
Yeah, because that's a whole new thing now. A lot of people I think connect to blogs and podcasts because, they want to feel connected to people.
Right.
In a world where social media has made us more disconnected than ever. I mean, I've always been saying this. I think social media has ruined our social ability. But it is interesting.
Agreed. Very much.
I mean, if you look at what why can't I think of his name? Seinfeld. Look what he's doing.
Really?
Yeah. He's got that. It's like a video, but it's like a podcast. It's like a video podcast of where he gets a new comedian every week and has coffee with them.
Right.
Sometimes it's in a car. Sometimes it's not, so that's something. So
I want to do a video podcast of me and you in the car.
Really?
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Sure. We can do that. We can do anything. We have the technology.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have
all we got to do
technology.
All we got to do is hook up one of the iPhones on the dash.
I didn't say right away I have to lose 150 pounds.
I am saying right away, let's get the iPhone and head out to the car right now.
No. Sorry.
So, as you heard Craig discuss, he's got dates coming up for his comedy show.
Yeah.
And he's got the podcast.
And we'll be there.
And you can find out all about what he's doing and his upcoming shows at craigshoemaker.com.
Hey, and look us up while we're there.
Yeah. They can do that.
Right.
If they're going to be there.
Absolutely.
He did say that, I read on one of his social media outlets, he said that he was telling people if he wasn't close enough for them, then they should talk to the local venues. He said he was saying sometimes that's all it takes is for them to be reminded that there's other people available. Then I guess local venues can get caught up in the same.
Right.
So I was thinking Dover Downs.
What?
That would be a great venue.
That would be an awesome venue.
Yeah, and then a great full evening out too.
Right.
Close to home.
Yep.
So anyway. We'll have to find out how we go about suggesting that. There's got to be a way.
All right.
He said there's a way. He said do it.
Right. Do it.
So, craigshoemaker.com. That's where you're going to find out more about him and hook up with him on social media. He is, he's out there. He's out there on social media regularly, sharing with people, and it's just amazing. Check out his podcast. Oh my God, I can't say enough about it. So, as I said, Wombat of the Week, and Heroes preempted. They'll be back next week.
Peace out. Meaning they're not here.
Yeah, they're not here right now. They're preempted. Not
right. I don't know why I say what I say. I really don't.
That's okay. We're just talking.
I know. But sometimes it gets scary in my head.
Well, I've been looking for a good horror to watch.
Yeah, you'd come out screaming.
And you mean it's not a fun house in there?
Oh, no. It's scary.
Anyway.
Does ring a bell?
Wow.
Yeah.
A little psycho?
A lot of psycho.
A lot of psycho.
I'm just kidding. I'm really not crazy, people. Stop.
I'm just...
The way you just looked at me was like...
You're over there talking.
Wow.
You're over there talking with some conviction about it. So, we've been experiencing some spring.
I know.
Don't get too comfortable. It's going to get cold again, and I don't know.
No.
March came in like a lion, so it should be going out like a lamb. Isn't that how it goes?
That's what they say.
Yeah.
And I just bought a pressure washer, and I'm so excited.
You hear this, folks? She's excited about having a pressure washer.
No, like, I know, that sounds crazy.
No, it's not crazy. You're always excited about getting big, like, yard tools.
I am.
You know what I mean? Lawnmowers, pressure washers, seeders.
Right?
I mean, that's your gig.
That is me.
You should have been a farmer.
I think I was in a previous life. But no, I love running the pressure washer. And the reason I love it so much is because I like watching something that is so dirty transform into something beautiful.
Wow, that's very beautiful put. Beautifully put. Beautifully put.
So that's why I love painting. I love cleaning. I don't do it much, but I love it. Pressure washing outside, gardening.
Right.
That kind of thing. That's why I love doing things like that, because I like to watch the transformation of whatever I'm doing.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to close out of this rock house.
Okay.
Remind everybody that the website is joelmichalec.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can reach us on Facebook at JM Talk, and over there on Twitter at WQYB Radio. So I thank everybody for listening. I'm sure you thank everyone for listening.
Absolutely.
And
thank you.
If you like the show,
and
share it.
Thank you, Craig.
Right. Thank you, Craig. If you like the show, share it. If you didn't, we don't want to hear about it.
What? No, if you didn't like it, don't tell us.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I don't want to hear about it.
I just said it nicely.
Anyway, folks, we will catch you again next week on the podcast.
Yep.
Until then, be good to yourselves and love, not hate.
Absolutely.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.